Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more Los Angeles Lakers news, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Lakers fans are not happy, because the team has been playing disappointing games and this is worrying for the rest of the season. There is still time to make good deals at the trade deadline, and getting a star who is young and a top scorer is the best solution. Because with Davis, LeBron and LaMelo Ball, the Lakers are very strong, they can be champions now and will still have a young star for many years to come. Successful trade suggestion: Lakers sign LaMelo Ball in big deal. We're just weeks away from the NBA trade deadline, and we're expecting to see several blockbuster trades happen before then. The Los Angeles Lakers are among a number of teams who are seeking out new pieces, even after already making the trade for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton. One of the latest trade proposals circling around sends Charlotte Hornets point guard LaMelo Ball to the Lakers, in return for Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, 2029 first-round pick, unprotected, 2031 first-round pick, unprotected, 2025 second-round pick, and 2025 second-round pick, via Los Angeles Clippers. Ball could be just what the Lakers need to boost their offense and climb the ranks in the West ahead of playoff season. The flash playmaker could fit right into LA and be just the star this team needed to play alongside LeBron James and Anthony Davis. The Lakers have been making strides to climb the ladder in the Eastern Conference, but there's still lots of work to be done on this team in order to be considered real contenders for a title. James is primarily the team's leading playmaker, and adding Ball could allow the 40-year-old star to share the scoring load and facilitate the offense. The Lakers are solid in transition, and Ball fits right in with that system, as he looks to push the ball up, keeping the game at an up-tempo speed. Players like James and Davis thrive in fast break situations, and Ball's ability to quickly get the ball up the floor making spot-on passes in transition is a perfect fit for the Lakers. Ball would also be a unique addition to the team through his youth. At just 23 years old, Ball brings a fresh pair of legs with star capabilities. In games where James and Davis are nursing injuries or resting, Ball can easily step in and be the primary option to score. He's having a career-best season with the Hornets this year, averaging 29.7 points and 7.4 assists per game. Although losing players like Reeves and Hachimura could be tough, as the Lakers have been committed to their development as key players on the roster, it's no secret this team needs a few more pieces to the puzzle to keep them competitive. The Lakers have made no other indication on a direction they are looking ahead of the trade deadline, but Ball could be something to take seriously. Lakers needs that can be filled with signings at the trade deadline. A knockdown shooter to spread the floor. Like it or not, the modern NBA is all about which team can knock down the most threes, and in that regard, the Lakers are still lacking. Despite being led by a coach who made his living as a three-point marksman, LA just hasn't been shooting the ball enough, or well enough, from outside to keep up with the rest of the league. The Lakers are shooting 35.2% as a team from deep, which is good for 19th in the league. They're attempting the third fewest threes though, and making the fifth fewest. That needs to improve in order to keep up with teams like the Celtics, Wolves, Cavs, and Grizzlies. The hope was that Dalton Knecht would fill his role, but his shooting touch has eluded him for about a month and a half now. Knecht may find his rhythm in time, but the Lakers can't afford to wait and find out. An established sniper should be near the top of Rob Pelinka's wish list, especially if he can also get that pass-first point guard we mentioned. It was surprising that the Lakers weren't also able to pry Cam Johnson from the Nets when they got Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton, but perhaps the price was too rich for LA's blood. It wouldn't hurt to return to the negotiating table to see if something could be hammered out between now and the deadline, though. Failing that, Zach LaVine is shooting 45% from three this year and has managed to stay healthy for the Bulls. Bradley Beal is persona non grata in Phoenix, but he can still knock down open looks. Both of those guys would need a third team to make the salary numbers work. Colin Sexton of the Jazz is shooting 42%, and his salary is a much more reasonable $18 million. A big man to take some of the load off of AD. No disrespect to Jackson Hayes or Christian Koloko, but they're basically replacement-level centers, leaving Anthony Davis as the only big on the roster who's capable of making a difference. The Lakers need someone who can help their bench unit gain some ground against some of the deeper teams in the West, and Davis needs somebody who can absorb the defensive workload under the basket so that he's free to help all over the court. Davis has defied critics that have called him fragile throughout his career by being remarkably durable the last 2 seasons, but the heavy weight he has to carry on this team is bound to catch up to him eventually. Not only do the Lakers need to make the playoffs, they need to be able to make a run when they get there, and having a gassed AD is not the way to do that. There are a number of big men that might be available at the deadline to solve LA's problem, including Jonas Valanciunas, who's currently wasting away on the Wizards, Walker Kessler, who the Lakers might be able to pry away from the Jazz, and Robert Williams III, who's dealt with injuries and has been the odd man out in a crowded Portland frontcourt that includes DeAndre Ayton and first-round pick Donovan Clingan. LeBron James teases Lakers making trades, "We have so much more room to improve." LeBron James might be waiting for the Los Angeles Lakers to make the requisite roster moves before the trade deadline to become real contenders. The Los Angeles Lakers are expected to be among the most active teams ahead of the 2025 trade deadline. The roster needs reinforcements badly, with a weak bottom end of the rotation and inconsistent depth across positions. LeBron James was asked about the team going into the trade deadline and what changes could happen on the Gojo and Golic show. James kept it real and admitted that the Lakers we see right now might not be the same Lakers in a month. "I think so. I think our identity is one defensively, where we want to bring physicality to the game and make teams do something they do not like to do. Offensively, we want to share the ball. We're really good when we're in the high 20s for assists. I feel like we have so much more room to improve. We're not the team I believe we're going to be when February-March hits. I do like our chances, and we gotta continue putting the work in." The Lakers are one of the only teams to have already made a win-now midseason trade, acquiring Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets at the end of December 2024. Finney-Smith was an acquisition in the right direction, but the Lakers still need a few more key reinforcements. The team's primary target should be a backup center behind Anthony Davis, who is also good enough to justify double-big lineups where Davis serves as the power forward. Beyond that, a shot-making guard would be a great addition, considering Austin Reeves is essentially the only player in that mold right now. They've been linked with a wide variety of targets, from high-volume scorer Zach LaVine to role-playing centers like Day'Ron Sharpe. LeBron opens up on injuries derailing a season. One of the bigger revelations from James came when he spoke about the nature of postseason basketball and how a team stands basically no chance in the playoffs if they're not on a winning roster and if they have suffered major injuries. When it comes to the postseason, if you're not going in with a healthy roster, you're not giving yourself the best chance to win. We definitely want to continue winning games. We're in the wild, wild west where there are a lot of great teams who are accumulating wins every night. We want to do that as well. If you're winning and going into the postseason not healthy, you're not giving yourself a chance to win big. There's definitely a fine line, and I hope we can be on both sides where we're winning games and healthy. LeBron seems to be advocating reasons for the Lakers to add depth behind their current core of players. They don't have a very robust rotation outside 6 to 7 players, so if any of those players get hurt, the Lakers will be adversely affected. LeBron is averaging 23.8 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 8.8 assists this season, so he can't supplement the production of his teammates anymore. If the Lakers want to be realistic contenders, they need to be that on the trade market.